The rating is back in 9.2. It's just launched, and for the first time ever, I am not there to play it. Which means only one thing, right? WoW bad, FF14 good. Yeah? Obviously not. No, that is crazy. But it is a weird time for me, and we do need to talk about it, because, yeah, Zereth Mortis is out. I have not stepped foot in it. I haven't logged into WoW in 3 months. And the new raid comes out today, and I'm so hyped for everybody getting into it, as I've said many, many times recently. And I'm also going to be, and I'm so excited, in Hamburg, Germany, with Echo to cast the Race to World First in about a week. I'm flying out in about a week's time to be part of the Race to World First. I could not be more excited, because, as I said when we and this is crazy, right? We do have to talk about this a little bit, because it's mental. When I said I'm not covering World of Warcraft actively on YouTube anymore, people took that to mean you can never talk about World of Warcraft ever again. Which is so mad. It's really crazy. I don't understand how that's the message people received. I think most people just looked at the video title and just made up the reasons. Certainly the guys who were like, oh, he's making a big stand against the allegations and all the problems that Blizzard is having right now. No, I never said that. That was the icing on the cake. That was absolutely the icing on the cake of the whole thing. Was like, I'm not happy with the game and haven't been happy for a really long time. And then this was going on. It's like, that's it. You know, it was the tipping point for sure. But it was we're not making World of Warcraft content actively every day on YouTube anymore, right? That was the big deal. That was the point we were getting across. And I was very clear. One, I wanted to be a part of the Race to World First. Of course I do. It's fucking awesome. And two, I still continue to play World of Warcraft. Do you guys know, this is a real thing, right? This is a real thing. Do you guys know that there was a bunch of like conspiracy guys who went hunting, and this is so true, went hunting for my hidden WoW character in my armory. It was just my main character that I was very open about playing. And they went hunting down for characters that they would hunt. Just check the main character, right? If you're not going to if you're not going to listen to the video, why are you then spurred to go and try and find my hidden WoW character? If you just watched the video, you would know it was my main character. I continue to raid Sylvanas with my friends for about 5 weeks. Something like that, so everybody can have a chance at getting the Lego bow and just play together. You know what it is? You just want to play together. But ultimately, I've been so unhappy with World of Warcraft for a really long time. And every day, I was like making videos for you guys that were negative. Ugh. You can imagine what that feels like. Every day, you come into a job you love. I absolutely love talking to you guys. And I'm like, right, I've got to play for like 8 or 9 hours at least to check out this zone. So for Korthia, it was like I was doing Korthia 3 or 4 times a day just to go through it, find new things and do all that, and then be like, there's not a lot going on here. They're going to change it. They're going to make it better, I think. And then Torghast comes out, and it's like, it's you know, slightly better, I guess. There's some weird decisions going on. You know, things like that where I just wasn't super hype. And I was doing that every day. Every single day. And of course, it was the best decision I ever made. In fact, there's a good idea of this, and this brings us to the topic, which is WoW bad, FF14 good, which is definitely the sides that people have fallen on for some reason. Probably because we made positive content on FF14. I imagine that's the reason. It's not that hard to believe. It's like, oh, you're positive about that. Therefore, you know, WoW's negative. Because the other day, probably about a month or so ago, during the PTR testing of Zereth Mortis, there was big hubbub going on, and people were constantly asking me about it, which was the double legendaries, reputation, and how long it takes to get X and Y, and diligent farming became like a meme, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you know, in a different world, this is where my path diverged, guys. In one world, I am currently being brought to tears by the FF14 story. And we got some videos coming up on that. I'm currently being brought to tears on that matter. In an alternative world, on that very same day, when all that hubbub was going, I could either be in that position where I'm having so much fun, having a wild time, I'm so emotionally connected that I'm being brought to tears. Alternatively, in a different world, on that very same day, I could have been making a video bitching about something in Zereth Mortis, right? That was the two paths. On the very same day, when all that was happening, this is what's happening. This is what's happening here, and an alternative life on this side, I'm making that video instead. And that was the big eye-opening experience, is like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. I really do not want to do that anymore, because that sucks, right? And you guys get that. That fucking sucks. That's not fun. That's not interesting. That's not cool. But does it mean everything's perfect over here and everything's terrible over here? No, that's also crazy. It's really weird. There's a lot each game can learn from each other. And Chris has come to me and said, we should do that. We should just do a good series of videos looking at what can each learn from each other, because they're so open to learn, especially on the Squeenix side. And WoW's showing that maybe it's there. We've had such great dev communication recently. Really, really good. Let's hope it keeps up, because we've had that in the past. And then it dies off when things get better. They tend to taper off. They're like, okay, we did enough to get everybody kind of interested, and then they dial it back again. Which is, we've had that for many patches in World of Warcraft, which is like, we're going to be better at communication, we're going to be better at X and Y, and then they are for a short period of time, and then it dies off again. And things start getting back into the usual routine of like having bad systems, and then they try and fix the systems later on, the feedback's negative, and then they try and change it. But the huge exodus, which we do know has happened to other games, not just FF14 by any means, has been an eye-opening experience, I think, for a lot of players. And what I've mainly seen over the last few months, certainly since I stopped doing regular WoW content, is more and more players just seeing alternatives. Because World of Warcraft's strongest point for the longest time was that sunk cost fallacy and comfort zone. That you could go into WoW, even if you were like a casual average player, and it was comfortable. It was nice and comfortable. And I've seen this in real time when I've made, say, a stream invasion of a different MMO. And we've taken like 1,000+ people into not into a brand new MMO, but like an MMO that we're going to try out. And I've seen that number within the first hour drop to like 50 to 100 players, because they got lost. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't understand the UI. And, you know, all these things that aren't comfortable and known, and that nice, safe blanket that you understand from WoW after playing it for probably over a decade like I did, and be like, I'm just lost and I'm confused, and I don't like it. And that happens all the time. But recently, more people have been like, okay, I can get used to this, right? I'm not going back to WoW right now because I'm not enjoying it. So I'm going to spend more time over here where they get used to that UI. Their new comfort zone starts to build, or then they can adapt it into going to Lost Ark, or to New World, or to FF14, or whatever it might be. And seeing all these alternative ideas play out in a similar style to what World of Warcraft is. And a great example of seeing that alternative is exactly what I said about Bosnia, and certainly alts. So alts, the way FF14 is handling alts, is so much better than World of Warcraft. I think that's an objective truth, is that you have one character. So when I see people arguing recently, this happened yesterday, about Zereth Mortis, is that, oh, there's an alt skip in Zereth Mortis to skip the story, but you lose out on tons and tons of reputation, you leave out tons and tons of items, so now you're kind of thinking, yeah, I can skip it, but I also feel kind of like it's still mandatory to play through it, because I lose all those bonuses. So even though I can skip it, I kind of have to still play through it if to get this nice boost that you get from going to a new zone. And listening to that conversation, and then looking at FF14 and being like, that's never a conversation. It's just not a thing, because you only do it on one character. And all your alts are still within that one character. You just change class on a whim. You can do it whenever you feel like, which means you only play through a story once. And FF14 story is a great example of that, because the story is incredible. It brought me to tears multiple times. And I still haven't reached Endgame, by the way. I haven't even started Endwalker. I'm hoping to start that this week or next week. Playing through it again, though, that would be gross. It's really, really long. It's definitely not going to have that same emotional impact the second or third time through. It will for some people, I'm sure, but for me, knowing what's coming and knowing the twists and turns that I'm about to experience and knowing the outcomes, it's not going to have that same impact. I'm going to be pressing escape and skipping the cutscenes every single time, and it's going to be a really tedious, boring experience. That's going to be awful. The same as unlocking their end zone, their Zereth Mortis, or their Bosnia, or whatever it might be, is, yeah, it's got a wonderful story. I don't want to play it twice, though. After that, I've done that part. I want to play the next part. I want to get the rewards and stuff. And they handle that much better. Same with flying. I never worry about flying. I don't have to unlock it on alts. I don't need reputation. Done much, much better. Alternatively, gameplay-wise, I will take World of Warcraft any day. I know people get pissed at me for that, because it's your personal preference. If you prefer FF14, great, that's wonderful. I prefer World of Warcraft. I loved World of Warcraft's gameplay. Every day. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was so fun. And the same with raiding. I've only done a few extremes and a couple of savages. I've got a laundry list of stuff to do. But in terms of my preferred style of raiding, World of Warcraft. Right? That's what I prefer. And they're not comparable because they're very different styles, which is why I can say I prefer that one rather than that one. that's as simple as it's going to be. It's really that easy. But it never took away my love. That's the thing. The love for raiding. My absolute adoration for it. My joy for it. And as I said when I said we'll start covering World of Warcraft content on YouTube, like actively, I still want to play. I still want to do the heroics, and we're putting a group together to do the new raid in heroic. I won't be able to take part because I also want to be a part of the Race to the World first. I'm so happy I'm going to be doing that. But stay tuned though, because we will do those more direct comparisons. What can they learn from each other? Because that's what it's all about. And again, this isn't to be facetious, but like the FF14 guys are more than open and willing to swap things around to improve. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, obviously, and also WoW's doing a little better with that stuff these days. So I wanted to talk to you about that, and I hope to see you at the Race to the World first, because I could not be more excited. It's going to be so good. I'll see you again.